Ever feel like you're just drowning in information? Like there's this constant wave of new tech, new concepts, and you just wish someone would, cut through it all, tell you what really matters. That's exactly why we do these deep dives. We go through the sources, pull out the key stuff, and basically give you a shortcut to, well, being properly informed. Today, we're jumping headfirst into some interesting tech from a company called WolfPack. It's from their own material titled Build Your Own 4K 60 444 AV over IP with Bi-Directional IR and KVM. So our mission today, unpack what this actually is, especially that 4K 60 444 RITMIT, that's about video quality, why it's a big deal for AV distribution, and what real problems it solves for people. Okay, let's unpack this.
Okay, so AV over IP, in simple terms, just means sending your audio and video signals over a standard IP network. Think like your regular computer network carrying AV now. It's a big shift, really, from needing all those dedicated AV cables to just using, well, flexible network infrastructure that might already be there.
Right. So let's get specific to this WolfPack system then. What does AV over IP mean in this context? We're talking 4K video, 60 hertz, but the title also says 444. Can you break that down?
Absolutely. That 444 part, it refers to something called chroma subsampling. Basically, it's about how much color detail gets kept in the video signal. 444 means you're getting the full color information, no compression of the color data.
Full color. Why is that so important? Is it just for video pros?
Well, yes, for high-end video, but it's also critical for things like sharp text, computer graphics. It ensures you don't get weird color artifacts.
Yeah.
It's everything looking really crisp. It's definitely a pro-level detail, means top-notch picture quality. And the practical magic, as you said, is how it delivers this 4K 60 444 quality. It does it using just a single piece of twisted pair cable, C86 or CD7.
Just one network cable.
Yeah, but just one. And it sends these high-res digital signals up to 450 feet. And importantly, without signal loss.
Wow, 450 feet.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. And what's really powerful, they call it a true AV over IP matrix switcher, which means any input can go to any output.
Any to any.
Or you could send one input to, say, all the outputs, or really any mix you want. It's super flexible in how you route things.
That does sound like a big leap. So, okay, think about someone used to the old way, maybe an integrator or an IT manager. They've got these traditional setups, big fixed matrix switchers.
Right, the big card cages.
Exactly. How does this buy what you need model change things for them, like for planning, for budgeting, maybe even future-proofing?
Oh, it's a total paradigm shift.
Yep.
Absolutely. Traditionally, yeah, you'd buy that fixed card cage matrix, like a big box, and you'd have to decide up front. How many inputs, how many outputs?
And you'd probably overbuy, just in case.
Often, yeah. You'd overspec to be safe, buying this big chassis, maybe filling it halfway, maybe needing more later. But you bought the whole potential capacity up front. It was like buying a massive toolkit when you only needed a couple of tools right now. But with AV over IP, particularly this kind of modular approach, you can start lean. Put in exactly what you need today.
Okay.
And then next month, next year, if you need more inputs or outputs, you just add more of these transceiver units. It scales so much more easily.
Ah, so it smooths out the cost, too, less upfront.
Exactly. It improves agility, cash flow, turns a potentially huge capital expense into something more manageable, more operational. It's about precision scaling, really. True system design agility.
Okay, so we've got the basics of AV over IP and the flexibility. But what makes this specific WolfPack system stand out? What are the capabilities that make you go, ah, that's different?
Well, there's quite a list. It starts with what the source material calls basically unlimited sources, unlimited computers, unlimited KVM, and unlimited HDMI in and out.
Unlimited sounds ambitious. What does that practically mean?
It points to the scalability. It's not literally infinite, but it means the system architecture doesn't impose hard limits like a fixed chassis does.
Yeah.
And the KVM part is key.
Right, KVM, keyboard, video, mouse.
Exactly. So that means a user isn't just sharing a screen from a source somewhere else. They can actually take remote control of multiple computers.
Full control. Like using the keyboard and mouse as if they were sitting right there.
Precisely. From a single workstation, they can control different computers, routing their keyboard and mouse signals along with the video all over that same network cable.
That's huge for control rooms, right? Or maybe collaborative offices.
Definitely. Huge implications. And then there's video walls. The source says any size and quantity of video walls.
Any size and quantity.
Yeah, and it even includes optional rotation, 90, 180, 270 degrees.
Wait, built-in rotation? So you could make really creative displays without needing special processors just for the rotation.
That seems to be the implication.
Hmm.
Very versatile for digital signage, architectural displays, that kind of thing. The creative options open right up.
Okay, what else?
Then there's real-time monitoring and control. It mentions a real-time video preview of all sources on any wireless tablet.
On a tablet, so you can see what's going on from an iPad or Android.
Exactly. And
Okay.
control it from there too, apparently, alongside Windows software support.
How does having that preview on a tablet change things? Is it for setting up or managing live?
It's really useful for both, I'd imagine.
Hmm.
Think of an operator in a control room needing to quickly check a dozen sources.
Hmm.
Or maybe someone managing a live event, switching feeds on the fly.
Right, instead of having to guess or walk over to a monitor.
Yeah, they get instant visual confirmation right there on their tablet, streamlines the whole process, makes troubleshooting faster too. And digging into performance, it uses H.264 and H.265 compression. These are standard, pretty efficient video codecs.
And it says they're switchable.
Yeah, which gives you options. But the key thing they highlight is that even with, say, a full 4K 60 signal coming in, or even showing 4 sources at once in a multi-view layout,
Uh-huh.
the system is designed so the total bandwidth needed on your network stays under 1 gigabit.
And why is that number important? 1 gig.
Because 1 gigabit Ethernet is a very common standard for local networks. So the idea is you can often run this system on your existing network infrastructure. You don't necessarily need to upgrade everything to super high-speed, costly network gear.
Okay, that makes sense. It lowers the barrier to entry.
It certainly can. Then there's switching speed. They mentioned 80 milliseconds latency.
80 milliseconds, is that fast?
It's very fast for this kind of application. For most people, it would feel practically instantaneous. Really crucial for live events or command centers where you can't have noticeable delays when switching views.
Got it. No awkward pauses.
Right. And it's HDCP compliant. That's the copyright protection stuff.
Right.
Essential if you're dealing with Blu-rays, streaming boxes, protected content.
Standard requirement these days, yeah.
Definitely. And for installation, it uses PoE, power over Ethernet.
Power through the network cable.
Exactly. Both the transmitters and receivers get power over that same CAAT cable that carries the video and audio. So less wiring, no need for power outlets right at every screen or source location. Cleans things up.
That's always a plus. Fewer cables are always better.
Always. And one last tech bit, it mentions adapting audio formats like MPage4 AAC and LPCM stereo based on available network bandwidth if needed. Just ensures the audio stays robust.
Okay, so it's adaptable. And speaking of adaptable, the name itself is Build Your Own. How does that actually work? Is it about picking components?
That's probably the most unique part. The source states very clearly that the transmitter and receivers are the same unit.
Wait, the same physical box?
Yes. It's not like you buy an encoder box and a
Yeah.
separate decoder box. You buy these transceivers.
Okay.
And then it says you just select what you want them using the PC software.
So the hardware is identical, but you use software to tell each box, you're sending video today, or you're receiving video today.
Precisely that. It turns a hardware decision into a software configuration. That's the core, the build-your-own idea here. Really empowers the user to customize their setup dynamically.
That flexibility is really interesting. But is there a catch? Like, is the software complicated, or are there situations where maybe this flexibility hits a limit?
Well, like any powerful software, there's probably a learning curve, especially if you're totally new to networked AV. But for folks comfortable with network setups, it likely feels pretty intuitive. As for limits, performance constraints usually come back to your network itself. If the network isn't solid, any AV over IP system can struggle.
Right, the network has to be healthy.
Exactly. This system aims to work within that common 1 gigabit standard, which is great, but yeah, it still needs a decent network foundation to perform well.
Okay, so pulling this together, who is this really for? Who benefits most? And are there any maybe unexpected hurdles people find when they switch from traditional ways to this?
Well, clearly, anyone needing to distribute 4K 60 Hz HDMI over IP is a prime candidate. The scalable ins and outs are a huge plus. So think large-scale digital signage retail, airports, stadiums, especially where you want that flexibility, maybe the rotation feature for creative displays. Complex home theaters, too. Sending multiple sources to different rooms without running tons of dedicated cables.
Makes sense.
And definitely mission-critical places like command centers, security operations,
Yeah.
anywhere you need that robust routing, the KVM control, the low latency, without being constrained by fixed hardware ports. As for benefits integrators mention, it's often the reduced cabling, the sheer versatility. Challenges sometimes pop up with older networks or maybe coordinating with the IT department about AV traffic,
Hmm.
but that's becoming less of an issue as AV over IP gets more common.
Right, IT and AV working together.
Yeah. And it helps that WolfPack itself isn't some brand new startup. They mentioned being a trademark of HDTV Supply, Inc., calling it a 24-year global home for audio and video products. They've been certified since 2003, apparently rated well by Google Shopping. That history adds some credibility, some trust.
That established background definitely matters. And one other thing you mentioned, the source says unlimited field upgradable. What does that really mean for someone investing in this? How does it protect their investment down the line?
That's a really important point for future-proofing. Unlimited field upgradable suggests you're not stuck with today's specs forever.
So you can add more units later, obviously.
Yes, you can add more transceivers to expand the number of inputs or outputs, but it also implies potential software updates, maybe unlocking new features or capabilities down the road
Yeah.
without needing a whole new hardware system.
Ah, so it's not just scaling, but maybe evolving features too.
Potentially, yes. It turns what used to be a pretty rigid investment, that big matrix switcher you bought once, into something more dynamic, more adaptable. It can grow and change with your needs, which extends its useful life significantly.
Okay, so let's try and sum up the key takeaways here for you listening. We've talked about how AV over IP brings this incredible flexibility to sending high-quality video and audio around, even demanding stuff like 4K 60 Hz with full 444 color. And this WolfPack build-your-own approach. It offers really interesting customization, potentially saving costs because you only buy what you need right now. Plus, it gives you that agility to deploy and scale easily later. And then there are those specific features, the real-time preview on a tablet, the really flexible video wall support, integrated KVM control, that fast switching. They seem to tackle a lot of common AV headaches.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture,
Mm.
what we're really seeing is part of this broader move away from single-purpose, dedicated hardware boxes. We're moving towards more flexible, software-defined systems that run over standard networks, like your IT network.
Right. Software eating the AV world, too.
Kind of, yeah. It just allows for so much more scalability,
Yeah.
adaptability, and often it's a more efficient way to use the infrastructure you might already have. It genuinely opens up possibilities for managing really complex AV systems that used to be, frankly, either impossible or just way too expensive for many people. It makes advanced stuff more accessible.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. Thinking about this build-your-own software-defined approach.
Yeah.
What possibilities does that open up for you when you're not stuck with fixed ports or those traditional rigid setups? How might this kind of flexible, scalable AV change how you interact with video and audio in your world? Maybe at home, maybe at work, maybe somewhere else entirely.